Howdy folks, I'm StacheDad and I'm back with another episode of Contradiction. We're past 11 p.m. now, and last time we caught Simon lying about his morphine usage with Kate. Let's see what we can discover in this episode. Alright, so I know this one has got one of the most preposterous videos in the whole game. Don't get me wrong, I understand that there's been quite a lot of them. Hey, you want to see something real interesting? Look at this. So just standing there. What are you doing? You haven't moved! It's been 6 hours! Freaks! Okay, let's get out of here before they steal our souls.
Just keep pushing. Just keep pushing. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. You can push it all the way in, Tom, if you want to. Excellent, Tom.
Excuse me. Would someone care to tell me exactly what's going on here?
Don't come any closer.
That man needs a doctor.
No, he doesn't.
I mean, he does.
I don't need a doctor. I'm fine. Go away.
What is this?
A test.
Of what?
What does it look like? It's a threshold test. A pain threshold test.
Now, the man hurting himself, he's
thought,
allowed to do that.
You were supposed to be good at working
But,
things out.
Actually,
Inspector
coercing somebody else to hurt
James.
themselves is illegal. You
And
could
so this
arrest
would
him.
be for Atlas, would it? Kyle?
You disappear now.
It's not a good idea to talk to a police inspector like
Yeah.
that.
Do you want me to make you?
It's okay,
Yeah.
Tom. Mr. Jenks won't be bothering us anymore.
Don't make any rash commitments.
Oh, look. It appears you're going away. The mentalities of children.
Well, well. You really should take more care of your things, Ryan.
Why did they have
Is your keys, Kyle?
No.
That's the 5th item.
So that's threshold testing, is it? Sticking a skewer through your hand? I could just ask Ryan or Paul directly about this, but I think I'll bide my time. See what I can do with this key fob first.
I'm glad Jinx is finally... I mean, Jinx really doesn't throw around the weight of being a police officer, which, I mean, I guess you can applaud in some instances. I'm glad he finally put his foot down there. He's like, you really don't want to fuck with the police like this. Alright, all the way over to here, and we will... Ooh, now it's time. What was that? So hurting yourself isn't illegal, obviously. If you believe as a police officer that somebody's really going to hurt themselves, like that guy, go even farther, you can absolutely attempt to, you can forcibly have them go somewhere where they won't continue to hurt themselves, which I don't necessarily think that guy was at that level. However, standing there coercing someone to do it to themselves, absolutely illegal. Jinx should have just arrested him on the spot. Alright, so let's go see if we can figure out what that was. Ah. He got shoes. Oh, no.
So James is interested in poppy pods, is he? I think he's got some explaining to do.
Does he? Is that cause for having splaining to do? Sometimes Jinx and I very much very much differ on what we think is important.
A few more questions, if you don't mind. What can you tell me about several boxes of dried poppy pods in the greenhouse back there?
Feel free to take some if you want.
What are they for, James?
Decoration? Why?
Decoration.
There's a big market for them among the over 70s.
So what are you doing with them?
Selling them to grannies.
Okay, James, let's just cut to the chase. Are you extracting opium from them?
Me? Can honestly say I've never done anything like that, Inspector.
Sure about that.
Scout's honour.
And who was the guy delivering them?
Jinx, this guy is not.
A friend.
This isn't.
Someone
He's
gave
not
them
an
to him.
opium
He asked me if I
guy.
wanted them. I
He's
said
a
I'd have look, see
mushroom.
if I liked them.
Maybe
You just
LSD
thought
if
you'd
he's
have a
looking to
look.
get crazy.
No particular reason?
Definitely.
Plant scientist,
Definitely
that's what I do.
cannabis.
Have you ever sold them to
Not a
anyone
morphine
else?
or no.
I only got them a few
Guy.
minutes ago.
In the past. You know Kate's body had opium in the blood when it was found.
No, I didn't. Hey, that's nothing to do with me.
Let's hope not.
Unfortunately, Jinx just lacks a lot of
Okay, that's it for
critical
now.
detective abilities. Like, I feel like he gets no intuition on a person's personality. Like, he isn't as snide back to Paul as Paul is to him. I guess that's maybe just because he's nice and I'm an ass. But what do we have? What is like he's trying to move a mountain just Yoo-hoo! What do we have? Look at how long his legs are. He's cramped in that car. Jinx must be a rather tall man, or just really leggy. Either way, I'm into it.
Bingo. Well, Ryan, what have you been up to? It'd be very interesting to see how he explains this one.
Weird. We'll get to that soon. But for now, we make our way along the path. Oh. Why did you close it like that? Oh, whoever owns the car told you not to slam the door, I'm guessing. It seems like what somebody would say if they own that
A
car.
few more questions, if you don't mind. What do you know about poppy pods?
I like to decorate with him.
Poppy pod?
Ever come across anyone selling them, using them?
No.
He doesn't come across a lot, to be honest. He sits
Now,
in this
why
chair
do
all day.
you think Ryan might want to give Kate a cheque for £500?
I've really no idea. Where did you find it?
Just outside.
You better ask him.
No,
Do you
just
think
around.
Ryan was interested romantically in Kate?
I know he has a weakness for blondes, but I didn't think it had gone so far as his offering them cash.
Kate wasn't blonde. And neither is the girl he's having an affair with, and neither is his wife. I do believe
Thank
the
you.
old man
Probably
doth
be back
protest
later.
too much. I think the problem is it doesn't work anymore. Thus, he's, trying to keep the spotlight off of himself. Make other people feel bad so he can feel good about himself. That old thing.
A couple more questions, if that's okay.
This is the commentary I was hoping to have over this game.
What do you know about poppy pods?
Go on.
Ever come across anyone trying
He
to
asked you a
sell them
question.
or anything like that? Maybe even in here.
Not that I remember.
Yeah, that's Jinx's detective
Thank you.
ability is-
Probably be back later.
He asks them a question and then doesn't wait for them to answer and just expounds more. I mean, it's a tactic. I'm not sure it's a tactic that will lead you to useful information, though. Simon.
A few more questions, please. Thank you. Odd question, but have you ever seen anyone handling dried poppy pods?
Poppy pods? As in, for opium? No. Though James did have opium tea once, I think.
Where did he get it from?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't ask. James does his own thing.
What does opium tea taste like?
I don't know. I didn't try it.
Really?
I didn't want to risk it, did I? But I went to hospital once. I had codeine and I went into anaphylactic shock. The doctor said it was an opium derivative, apparently, so...
Simon, you break my heart. And you'll continue to break it while I stumble. Where was it? No. No, not that. Wasn't it? What does he say he doesn't know? Ah. I'm so lost.
You and Kate took morphine in the mirror room. That's what you said, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you're allergic to opiates, Simon. Opium. You didn't take the morphine at all, did you?
Well, no, I didn't. Kate did, though.
I thought you were trying to outdo each other. That was the point, wasn't it?
You would have really outdone her if you would have took something on purpose that would have put you in anaphylactic shock.
Go on.
I mean, outdone her on the stupid
Ryan
level.
wanted me to test Kate. To see how far she would go to be prime candidate.
What candidate?
Prime candidate. It means the best person in the group, basically.
What do you mean, test her?
But you do it in pairs. One person's the tester, it's me, and the other person's the...
victim.
Well, it's not like that. It's completely consensual.
I would have said
It's just
tested.
boundary testing. Ryan wanted me to test Kate.
Because they thought she was the best student.
Well, maybe. I don't know. I just did what I was told, okay?
Except you decided to give her morphine. To break the law.
Well, I can't change that now, can I? She didn't die of a morphine overdose, did she?
She died because she drowned. But she drowned for reasons that aren't clear.
Also, I don't think
Atlas
he
seemed to
admitted
have
to
this
shoving
all
it down
neatly
her
worked
throat.
out. If Simon's telling the truth, Atlas are lighting the fuse and then retiring to a safe distance, letting students test themselves and push themselves to their limits while avoiding all comeback. Is this what happened to Kate?
You know about
Do
mirrors?
you know about the mirror room?
I just
at
finished a
Atlas?
game that was very heavily
Mirror room.
about mirrors.
No, I heard about it, but I think it was only for the students later on in the course. Something like that.
Do you do
Strange
opium
question. Have you ever known of anyone selling dried poppy pods?
Poppy pods. Don't think so. Isn't that opium?
too? Poppy.
Kind
Hopi.
It's okay.
Poppy pods are a lot more than opium. Come on. Why is that everybody's response?
Do you know what a prime candidate is at Atlas?
Yes, it's what every student wants to be. It's the best student. Apparently you get a great high-paid job afterwards. I don't think that really happens, though.
Did you know anyone in the running to be prime candidate?
What, like Simon? I don't think they picked Simon, to be honest. Well, he's got too many morals, and you can't have both at Atlas.
That's all for the
She
moment.
just
Thank
shits
you.
all over him. Terrible people there. Oops. Alright, no, James isn't going to know about prom candidate. It'll be like, yeah, James wouldn't know about this, so let's just skip it and go ask Paul.
Ask you a couple more things, please.
What are prime candidates?
The best of the bunch. The peaches.
And so what does it mean to be a prime candidate?
Success. We have a special relationship with many major international companies. We provide them with our best students. And they get an instant job.
And what do you get out of it?
Well,
12%.
it's a little kickback. It's just business, Inspector.
I mean, this is the first non-shitty thing in business he's talked about. It's completely standard, 12%. I mean, absolutely
Be back
normal.
later on, if that's okay.
Now, what they're doing them to get to there, it's probably really fucked up. Rebecca, you've been full of useful information this entire game. Why don't you tell
Just a
me
few
about
more
the prime
questions, if
candidate?
you don't mind. Do you know what a prime candidate is?
At Atlas, it's the best student.
And what does that mean?
It means they get a guaranteed job with a very good salary. Well, that's the idea anyway.
But
Mostly they aren't up to it.
what happens then?
They fuck
They get
off.
sacked.
I mean, essentially, yeah. It's pretty much the same thing.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
Time to go talk to Ryan. Boy. He going to have some things to talk to us about. Knock a knock.
Ask about a few more things, please. Can you tell me what you know about the mirror room upstairs?
Oh, you found that
I mean,
then.
didn't he build it?
Well, it's very similar to the costumes, Inspector. It's designed to help the students look at themselves differently.
And what do you do
At
with
this
the
point,
mirrors?
Ryan actually seems drunk.
Look at yourself, Inspector. You look at
Look
yourself.
at yourself.
Until you start seeing yourself as others do. And you don't see
Others?
yourself as you do anymore. It really, the idea is that you can see yourself eventually any way you wish.
So why in a locked room?
To make sure you're not distracted, that's all.
How often is it used?
Not often, a few times a month. Some students find it useful, some don't.
As one would imagine. Some people buy into it and others don't.
Know anything about poppy pods? Come across anyone selling them or anything?
Poppy pods. Well, don't tell anyone, Inspector, but I hear that you can make opium out of those. Why do you ask?
Doesn't matter.
Oh. Okay then. Aha.
Would you like to explain what this is, please, Ryan? £500 intended for Kate. It fell out of your car. At least I assume that's your car on the driveway at Brandon House.
I suppose so.
So why were you going to give Kate £500, Ryan?
It was just a little incentive, that's all. Just a little incentive.
Not very little, Ryan. £500.
She was a very good student. We heard that she was leaving. We wanted to give her something.
But you didn't.
Well, obviously not.
Are you sure there wasn't
She
any
is dead,
other
isn't
reason
she?
you might want to give her this? Personal reason?
No!
Well, I'd like to keep hold of this for a little while, if you
Certainly
don't
not
mind.
an affair,
Well,
right?
don't consider it a bribe, will you, Inspector?
Now, tell me what a prime candidate is.
You're learning a lot, aren't you, Inspector? Prime candidates are simply the best students, the ones with the most potential.
And what benefits do they get from that?
Well, they get the top job.
Which is?
Well,
Job.
we have a deal with various
Job.
multinationals. We train
That'd be
students to be
hilarious
exceptional,
in a couple
truly
series.
exceptional. And they get a wonderful top job. It's a very simple deal.
And how do you decide who the prime candidate is? Do you test students?
No.
Did you ever, say, ask Simon to test Kate, for instance?
Oh, you've actually been speaking to Simon, haven't you? I really wouldn't trust anything that Simon Thompson says. You know, he spent the best part of 2 months trying to undermine Kate. No. Now, Simon Thompson, it really isn't my place to speculate, but if you're looking for motives, Inspector, he certainly had a few motives. More than I.
A motive to kill her?
Matt Smith? How could he?
Now, that's very interesting, Inspector. Well, that's up to you to decide.
That's what it is.
So,
students aren't coerced or bribed in any way. Except Kate.
I'm not sure what you mean.
You said you were going to give Kate the £500 as an incentive. That's coercion, isn't it?
I really don't think you could call it coercion, Inspector. It was an incentive, that's all, a little encouragement.
So, how often do you use incentives?
Okay, incentive is probably the wrong word. The money was just to see how Kate would respond. It was part of her assessment.
Assessment?
We have to assess students as they progress. We don't use conventional methods like sitting an exam or anything like that. People pay for this course per session. We have to know if they're committed or not.
So you're assessing their progress and testing their commitment?
Yes, we are. We have to. This is a business, not a charity.
So Ryan's claiming the money was part of Kate's assessment. And did this assessment also involve threshold testing, I wonder? Or was the money for something else?
Yeah.
Aha. Well, which one is it, Ryan? Do you test students or not?
Well, some of them, yes.
Including Kate?
Yes.
Why was she being tested?
She was being tested because we wanted to see if she was good enough to become prime candidate, okay?
So Kate was in the running to be prime candidate?
Yes!
And did you ask Simon to test her?
Yes, I did. But I didn't ask him to do anything stupid. He knew it was against course rules.
How far did you ask him to push her?
I didn't ask him to push her. I asked him to test her. There's a huge difference! If Simon decided to give her too much caffeine or morphine or whatever, that's his responsibility.
Not really.
So if he did anything wrong, it was his own responsibility. He did it with his own mind and his own hand.
That depends on who's controlling the mind and hand, sir. That doesn't stand up in a court of law, like ever.
Midnight, and still no suspect, unless you count everyone I've interviewed. It's no surprise that Ryan wants to avoid any suggestion of being responsible for Kate's death, but I wonder if the man protests just a little too much.
What, you mean that whole spiel there didn't convince you of his innocence, Jeets? But he tried so hard. Alright folks, it's after midnight and now is time. Next episode we're going to have to finally come to a conclusion of Contradiction. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, go ahead and click the like button. If you want to see the finale episode coming up next, go ahead and subscribe to catch it. I love all of you, and remember, a stash isn't the hair on your lip, it's the source of your power.